Okay, so moving on to a twisted plume, which is just a variation on yesterday's stitch. So again, you're going to thread your needle by cutting your ribbon at a right angle. If you've got a wide needle, you fold it over and then cut it. Makes it a wide ribbon even. Makes it easier to thread. Thread it through, bring it up, and sew through the top, then pull down. So that's locked in. Probably got a bit more than I need here, but we'll go with it. So I'm just going to tie a knot just to anchor the end. So twisted plume is, again, it's a straight line stitch, although you can do it curved. And like the standard plume, you can do this with some pins or with a needle, just to support the loops as you make them. So make a stitch through, support the end, and come down a little ways. You don't need to make your stitches as big for twisted plume. So just pull that through till it's sitting flat. Like that. And a twisted plume benefits from being a little shorter in terms of your loop. So just anchor that into place. Now I'm going to come down just next to the entrance point. I don't know how well that's going to come out, just next to the entrance or the exit of that ribbon. And come through. And this time I'm going to send the loop in this direction, and I'm going to put my exit stitch just underneath here. You're going to pull that through, keep it pretty much flat at the end. Now this time, that's twisted. I'm making all these loops the same size. This one benefits from using a satin ribbon rather than a silk one, to get a better effect. So now I'm going to come down just below the exit point of this one. And then come this direction and come down. The idea with this is to cover up the previous loop as you bring each one down. If you do quite short loops and get them a little closer together, you can make something like an ear of corn or ear of wheat. Do it in a gold thread. So I'm just going to keep coming down. You're basically following a straight line with just a slight variation, so that the bottom of each loop covers, or the top of each loop covers the bottom of the next one. So coming over to this direction, down. And this you can vary by changing the length of your loops, making them smaller at the top and then bigger towards the bottom. Entirely up to you. You can experiment with this one. So I'm going to do one more. Side, stitch down just below the first hole, so just anchor that one in. And again, to finish this one, it helps if you just do a very small stitch across the bottom. I normally hide the bottom of these in something, so they don't really need this finishing stitch, but it certainly does help it look neater. Like that. So that's a twisted plume, and then remove my pins. That, and just kind of push it up slightly, so you end up with slightly raised. Could be berries, could be corn, could be one of those tall kind of flowers with the tips on it like that. So that's a twisted plume.